What's up my true healthcare healers, it's Blaze here with the first cooking video on this channel. Now today I'm starting it off with some smoked basa fillets. I'm going to incorporate some grains, some hash browns and plenty of veg. I'm going to put it into some buns and I'm basically going to be freestyling this whole thing. So I ain't even a clue what's going to happen, but normally when I just freestyle it, everything goes perfect and you know, we create something beautiful. So let's get started. Okay, so first of all what you're essentially wanting to do is place it in some tin foil. Now the second part to this would be, I've chosen the wrong knife for this, but it's not really going to matter. It's going to all melt and come together, so it, you know, just place it on there. Nice even dashing. And after you've put the butter or olive spread, whatever you want to put on it, once you've done that, you're going to want to season it. Now, I have realised upon coming to this meal, I have not bought the correct seasoning. However, I am freestyling it, so who gives a fuck? So, what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to evenly spread the seasoning, so you're covering a nice even area. Alright, now it doesn't have to be perfect, no one says anything has to be perfect, but what people make the mistake of doing is covering just one area and they try to, oh, I've only going to run out of paprika, but what, oh, that's just lovely. And what they make the mistake of doing is misjudging how much they need to put in it. See, I've just wasted it all on that. That's just lovely. So once we've put a few herbs and spices that I've chosen onto the meal, I should have prepared this. Hold on. I'm gonna put a bit of remote. Oh, forgot to add, that was mixed herbs, that was paprika that's just gone in bin. I'm gonna put a bit of rosemary on there. Alright, now I believe that cooking isn't, you know, to everyone's taste. So when, you know, you have all these recipes of people putting a select amount of a certain herb on, I don't really believe that caters for the individual, because we all have our different individual tastes and whatnot. So I believe that we have an intuition and we guide our intuition, and no, that's the wrong one. Bit of basil, and basically our intuition guides our way through cooking. Now you might sit there and think that's not why I'm watching this cooking video, but it's the best, it's truly the best advice I could give you. Like literally, there is no other advice, and you're saying that's probably caked. I couldn't give a fuck. Right, I'm going for it, all's deep. And what you've got to realise is the butter is going to end up spreading this across the fish. Okay, so it's going to melt it into the fish as well. Alright, so what you see in all these herbs, all these spices that have gone onto this are all going to incorporate into the fish. Alright, so just don't worry too much about what's visually there. Alright, it'll all come together, and I'm just gonna grab some fish seasoning, and I have no idea where my salt's gone. Bit of chili flakes. So we're only going to want a bit of fish seasoning. I don't like to put too much on. simply because the fish is already fishy. Don't need to make it any more fishy. And this is going to be a bit awkward because the camera, I cannot grind the fucking chili flakes while holding the camera, so just gonna have to bear me with this second. Okay, so I've just salt and peppered it. What you're gonna want to do is put some, if you can, pink Himalayan salt. Best salt going, alright, it's the purest salt. If you look at these salts, this is sea salt. It has unfortunately got microfibers of plastic, and it also has contains minute amounts of mercury. Right, so the best thing, Himalayan pink salt. Right now it's looking a bit over seasoned. I get that it will incorporate into the fish, and you will not see as much as what's there right now. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to parcel this up. You're going to want to put some hash browns. If you're copying this, you're going to want to put some hash browns onto a tray, and you're going to want to put this into the oven, high heat, and I'd say for about 30 to 35 minutes would do it nicely. However, like I said before, guiding your intuition, best thing you could possibly do in cooking is the best advice I ever got given. You know, I feel like when you stick to a set schedule, it more limits your perspective to what could be, and intuition is energy and it guides you. This, I swear to God, intuition will guide everything to do with your cooking. Trust yourself. So once you've slapped that in the oven, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab some green beans, a red bell pepper or whatever colour you fancy. You're going to want to grab some mixed baby leaf, and you're going to want to chop some of these up, and you're going to want to save some of these for the bun. Right, so boom. Right, so basically I've just cut up the mixed baby leaves, the red bell pepper and the green pea shoots. Now you're going to want to cut them up evenly. It's just, you know, not perfect, but you know, as long as you're not missing a finger, it's good. You know, chefs will tell you, oh, there's this way and this and that way, it's more efficient, it's more faster. But really and truly, you can get more efficient and more faster at the techniques you're doing. Don't really matter. End of the day, if you've not lost your fingers, you're good. So yeah. Now you're going to want to put it into a pan with some micrograins. Alright, and you're going to want to cook this for around 5 to 7 minutes. So it still retains some crunchiness, but it's not fully cooked, you know, it's just partially cooked. You want that. And you're going to want to have it on a medium heat to a low heat. Okay, don't want it too low that it don't cook, but you just want it nice, simmering, just cooking slowly. Alright, we want to incorporate the flavours. If you cook it too fast, it won't have the flavours that you want it to. Right, so I've just put it in the pan. Alright, and basically you're just going to want to mix it all in evenly. Okay, now you're going to want to try use a plastic spatula for this. Make sure you don't scratch your pans. And with the micrograins, micro rice, whatever it may be that you're using for this, what you're just going to want to do is squeeze up the packet beforehand. Alright, you want to make sure that you don't have little clumps like that one. If you see that, you just want to make sure that all those clumps are removed, so you know you get even cooking, all lovely jubbly. Should be mixed up like that if you've done with it. Now I'm going to add the spices. Okay, so we're cooking on gas, cooking nicely. And I've just prepared some herbs here. I'm going to put a bit of basil in. Now, like I said earlier, you're just going to want to spread it evenly so that, you know, it's all evenly coated. You want to try get each area like you would on a plate and just think, how's that going to taste in that area, right? So you don't want to put too much in each area, but you just want to lightly coat the area like you would want that tasting in your food, alright? That's where the people make mistakes with, you know, putting it all in one area and having a misdirection of how much they're actually putting in. So that was just some mixed herbs as well as some basil. I'm now going to put in a bit of rosemary, evenly spread again, not too much. But with your flavours and your profile, you just want to judge it based on the smell. Alright, so what I do is I smell. Luckily I know what I'm putting in, so a bit of sage there as well. But you just want to, you know, you want to gauge it with your smell, alright? You don't want to put too much of a certain flavour in that you don't want. Now I'm going to put a tiny bit of mint in. Alright, we're not going to put too much in, just a dash. Alright, now that's just going to help blend the flavours together, not too much. Now, put a bit of turmeric in. Now, hold on. Now, you're probably going to think, hold on, this isn't a curry, why are you putting turmeric in? Now, I'd be thinking the same thing if it had come out. But, turmeric is, okay, so apparently this is one stubborn turmeric, either that or, no, we've got turmeric, but this is one seriously stubborn turmeric, so we're going to have to bash it about a bit, and I'll come back to you when it's... Okay, so you just want to put a tiny bit in there, nothing too much, alright. Like I was saying, turmeric is extremely beneficial for your health. Could go through the whole list, but this is a cooking video. Dill. Now, I've also got some basil paste, okay, and I'm going to put a fork of this in, and I'm also going to put a bit of fire roasted jalapeno red hot franks. I'm just going to dash some of that in. Normally I'd be making my own sauces, but that takes a bit more time. This is just a quick video, first video out there. Normally what I do is, because you don't really need sauces, but what I'd normally do is I would have the oil as, you know, the blend together so that it, you know, it's nice and moist. But what I'd normally use for that is I would normally use a oil called white turmeric and olive oil, and it's cheap. You can buy it at Asda, but it tastes absolutely amazing. Today we haven't got that. I'm yet to go Asda, get a few things, but you make do with what you've got. So I'm just blending it all together. It's smelling absolutely beautiful at this very moment in time. Like I say, I've just judged the flavours. I have not followed any recipes, never have, never will. Only leads to bad things, okay? So, you've judged your own flavour profile, should be working well. And I've also put some Himalayan salt in there as well. I did that off camera because you have to grind it. A bit tedious, you can't do it with the camera. But now I'm going to put a forkful of that in, and I'm also going to put a dashing of that in. Okay, so now I've put the red hot frank sauce in there. I was going to put the pesto in there, but there were all types of strange happenings in there. I didn't quite trust it, so You only need a bit of this sauce. It is a hot sauce. You can put any sauce you want in there. However, I just chose Frank's Red Hot Sauce just as a little kicker. As you know, can be a bit not bland, but it can be a bit, you know, it just needs that kick, is what I'm trying to say. So, now I've cooked that, the fish should be coming along nicely. Now I'm going to take that out and see how that's going, and I'm going to incorporate some hash browns and I'm going to mix that together. See how that goes. Forgot to mention, but you're going to want to butter these in your spare time whilst you've just, you know, done all that. So then you're going to want to take, I'll just move that there, turn that off. We're going to want to take this out. Now you're going to think, this greedy bastard has just put a lot of fucking hash browns on. Too right I have. But basically, half of those are going in there, some of those are going in the bread buns, and then some are going next to the fish as a little side. So let me just grab the spatula right now. Put I'm gonna need, right, put 2, leave 2 out, 4-foot things, 4-foot butters, 4-foot mix. Basically, you're just going to want, now I've grabbed the knife, I should have grabbed the fork, let me just do that real quick. So basically, you're just going to want to mash this up. Don't care how you do it, just do it, and it should come with something like that. Then you're just going to want to smash it all around. Try not to scrape the edges, you're only ruining your pan, and I'm doing it myself, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but, and I should have grabbed the spatula, but since we're doing it with this, might as well. So now that is all incorporated, you're going to want to plate it up, and you're going to want to put a hash brown in each of the buns. So let's do that. Okay, so the structure is leaf, hash brown, and I've put, you don't have to do this, whatever sauce you want, put a bit of mustard on there, just drizzled it about, did me dirty on that one. But you're going to see that your fish is still swimming, alright? Now this is no problem, alright? This is going to be one extremely juicy fish, okay? Now, I have to admit that normally it's not this drowned, but what that sauce is going to do is it's going to be dribbled on top of the fish butters, and it's going to be incorporated in with this as well. So all them flavours are going straight into this beautiful, 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 trust me, this is going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm going to do that now. Basically, you're going to want to remove all the juices into there first, then you're going to want to cut it into 4 pieces, okay, and you're going to want to place them nicely on top of the hash browns. Okay. Sorry for the bad camera quality. I ain't got fucking 3 arms. So there we go. Splash that on there. Just try not to get burnt. Let's just put it there. Well, that's not a problem. Put that on top of there. So then we're going to grab some of the grains. Now, what we're going to want to do with the grains is I'm just going to want to put a bit on each of the burgers. Okay. Well, that is absolute disgrace. It's gone absolutely everywhere. But you'll see it come together in just a short minute. You don't want to put too much on because like that it just fucking goes everywhere. But you're going to want to put some on. That's why I recommend putting it on a chopping board before. Just so that you've got a nice little bit of surface area to clean up any last little bits. And then you can put it onto a plate as I'm going to do now. So this is the end result. And as you can see, it is looking beautiful. Okay. So that's about it for this video. But if you like this video, then don't forget to like, subscribe and share for more. With that, I'm out. Peace.